Hello guys, so in this video I'm driving along the Nairobi Expressway, and I just saw it important to give you some information about the expressway before I continue with the video. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so Nairobi Expressway is a toll road and it runs above the Mombasa Road. It was constructed as an alternative to the Mombasa Road, right? If you live in Nairobi, you know that most of the time Mombasa Road is always packed with traffic. So to use that traffic for the people going to the JKIA or Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and other places, then they want to go faster. And that was the reason why the Nairobi Expressway was constructed. Alright? Okay, now I want to tell you how to register to use Nairobi Expressway. And there are two modes of payment when it comes to using the Nairobi Expressway. So in this photo, you can see you have the MTC, ETC. Okay? So if you are going to use manual payment, you need to use MTC lane. But then if you are already registered to use a Nairobi Expressway, you need to use the ETC. So ETC means that it is an electronic way of payment, and it works in this way. You need to be registered, and once you are registered, you are given a specific gadget that is attached on your car. And once this device is attached on your car, it will automatically open every time you want to pass. But then you need to use the ETC lanes. Okay, you need to use ETC lanes when entering and when exiting. So this means that you don't waste time waiting for approval for you to continue, and then when exiting you don't have to stop again and pay in cash. So that is the importance of the ETC. So ETC device, you buy it, I think it's around 4,000 now. You buy 4,000. I remember mine was around that price thing, around 4,000, and then they will attach it on your car, and then you can use it. So for you to use it, you need to make sure that you have enough points, and the points you buy them through M-Pesa using their app, which is the Expressway app. All right. And I think I don't know how many points I have, but I think I have around 1,500 points, and each point is 1 shilling, so that is equivalent to 1,500. And then so how much do you use? So the money that you use depends on the distance that you covered while driving along the expressway. So for example, I tested driving the entire expressway and I paid 500. I think it was 570, around there. During the Uhuru's time, it was 300. But when Ruto took over, I think it was increased. Now to drive along the entire expressway, you pay 570. And then what about if you want to just drive for a short, because there are exits along the way. So what if you just want to exit? So it's going to do the automatic calculation of the distance that you covered, and it's going to charge you based on the distance that you covered while driving on the expressway. So for example, if you are just drive for maybe 2 kilometers along, and then I exit back to the Mombasa Road, it's going to charge me less than somebody who drove along until the end of the road. Yeah, so that is it. And so as you can see, I'm now driving. I'm leaving Nairobi towards the Mlolongo. I was going to Mlolongo to inquire something to do with the construction materials, and then you can see I'm passing in Salasi Avenue, and then I came back. So this video involves the to journey where I was going, and then the from journey. If you want to see the buildings, you see them differently based on whether I'm going or coming back. So I hope you are going to enjoy this video. Thank you so much.